Hello and welcome to Insight. I'm Antoine Linley. It was the renaissance of Ethiopian modern music. The brass sounds and swinging 1960s gave center stage to some of the most gifted and talented musicians and music artists. Stay with us as we take a closer look at the history and rise of Ethiopian modern music. It was the golden age of Ethiopian modern music. The 1960s gave platform to some of the greatest music artists and talents of Ethiopia. From the brass sounds of Ethiopian swing to unforgettable vocals. It was a time that musically captivated the hearts of many.
We had a nice time. We had many audiences. That time there were many outsider people also in Addis, like what you call Italians, Greek, and so on. So, as well as the Ethiopians,
ትልቁ ነገር በዛን ጊዜ በግል ሳይሆን በቡድን የህዝብን ልብ መማረክ ነው።
ጊዜ ዘመን ጀምሮ ትልቅ ምርታ ያሳዩበት ነው። የህዝቡን ስሜት በጣም የጋለ ነበረ። የሚወጡት ሙዚቃዎች ለትውልድ የሚተላለፉ ጥሩ ሙዚቃዎች ነበሩ። የስሜቱም ደግሞ የህዝቡ ስሜት በጣም የዳበረና ፍላጎት የነበረው ዘመን ነበረ። ያ ዘመን በእርግጥ ወርቃማው ዘመን ነው ብዬ ነው የማምነው።
ያ በእውነትም ያ ዘመን የኢትዮጵያ የዘመናዊ ሙዚቃ አብዮት የተካሄደበት 4 እና 5 ዓመት ነው ማለት ይቻላል። እና ከዛ በኋላ የኢትዮጵያ ቀዳማዊ ኃይለ ሥላሴ ቲያትር ኦርኬስትራ እየነገሰ መጣ።
በዚያን ጊዜ የነበረው ሙዚቃም ሆነ ለዛው ግጥሙ መልእክቱ ሰውን የሚያረካ የማይረሳ በጣም ጥሩ ዘመን አሳልፈን ነበር።
ልብሳችን ተመሳሳይ በመሆኑ ከቦዮች ጋራ አንዳንድ ሆቴል ልንሰራ ሄደን ዞር ስንል ሳባ አድርጎ ሂድስቲ ቢራ አንጣ ምናምን የሚል ነገር ያጋጥም ስለነበር ያሚታወሳል።
Known as the Elvis Presley of Ethiopia, eshete holds fond memories of those times.
ብዙ ሜሞሪ አለኝ። ብዙ ጥሩ ትዝታዎች ናቸው ያሉን። ያሳለፍነው ቆንጆ ዘመን የህዝቡ ድጋፍ፣ የህዝቡ ፍቅር፣ ህዝቡ እየኮተኮተ የህዝብን ምክር እየተቀበልን በሙያችን እየዳበርን በመሄዳችን ለዚህ በቅተናል። ብለን በምንለውም ደግሞ በተለይም በዛን ዘመን የነበርነው አርቲስቶች የምንጫወተው የምንዘፍነው የህዝብን እውነታ ነው። የምንሰራው ለሀገር ብቻ ነበር ማለት ይቻላል። ለጥቅም አልነበረም።
Inspiration in music, he says, started from childhood.
ትንሽ ልጅ ሆኜ ሚሽን አካዳሚ ውስጥ እማር ነበረ። ሆሊ ባይብል ብዙ እከታተል ነበረ፣ መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ እና መዝሙር ዘምር ነበር፣ ሆሊ ሶንግስ። ያ ነው የኔ ባክግራውንድ። በወቅቱ ደግሞ የነበረው ያ ወቅት የሮክ ኤንድ ሮል ኤጅ ስለነበረ እና ኤልቪስ ፕሬስሊ በጣም ፖፑላር ሆነው የወጡበት ሰዓት ነበርና ሲኒማ ቤት ሁሉ ስንሄድ ሁሉ ጊዜ ዋች የምናደርገው እነሱን ነው። እኔ እንግዲህ ዘፈን በሆሊ ሶንግስ በመዝፈን ተነድፍ ያለው ራሴን ትሬን እያረኩኝ ነኝ እና ያለሁት ይህን ሮክ ኤንድ ሮል ስሰማና እንትን ስል እየተነደፍኩ ሄድኩኝ በና ኤልቪስ ፕሬስሊ። ናው ሁሉ ነገር ትቼ ወደ ሙዚቃ ውስጥ ገባሁ። በጣም አርት ወድ ነበረ። what I remember is አርበኞች ትምህርት ቤት ስማር ፔቸርት ስኩል ድራማ ሁሉ ሰርቻለሁኝ። ፕሪንስ ኦዲዮን ኤንድ ዘ አንኖን ኪንግ የሚል ድራማ ተሰርቶ በእንግሊዝኛ ነበር። በጣም ኪድ ሆኜ ያን ሁሉ ሰራ ነበር እያጠናሁ። ያ ሁሉ ለአርት ያለኝ ፍቅር ነበረ። ከዛ በኋላ ወደ ቦክስ ዓለም ገባሁኝ። ዋይኤምሲ ውስጥ ቦክስ መጫወት ጀመርኩኝ። በጣም ልዩ ፍቅር ነበረኝ ደግሞ በዛ። ፋይናሊ ግን ሙዚቃው አሸነፈና ወደ ሙዚቃ ዓለም ገባሁኝ። ዳትስ አለማየሁ።
He is known as the voice and the king of Ethiopian pop. Talahun Gassasa is regarded as one of the most popular artists of Ethiopia.
ጥላሁን ያየሁት እኔ ራሴ 16 ዓመት ነው የነበረኝ። የቀድሞ ማዘጋጃ ቤት ቲያትርና የሙዚቃ ማስፋፊያ ይባል ነበር፣ ላይ ጊዮርጊስ ባጠገብ ያለው ቦታ ነው። በዛ ጊዜ እሱ ወደ 16 ምናልባት 14 ዓመት ቢሆን ነው፣ እኔ 16 ዓመት አለኝ። ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ጥላ ከለላ የሚለውን ዘፈን የአበሻ ልብስ ለብሶ ጥላ የቀርቃሃ ጥላ ይዞ ኢትዮጵያ ሀገር የጥላ ከለላ ይሎ በሚዘፍንበት ጊዜ በሰውነቱ አዋህዶ ይገልጽ የነበረው ድራማቲካል የሆነ አገላለጽ በጣም እኔን አፍዞ ይቀርቷል። እኔም ልጅ ብሆን እና ከዚያ ጊዜ ጀምሮ የዚህ ሰውዬ ተሰጦ የዚህ ሰውዬ የሙዚቃ ኃያልነት በራሴ ላይ እንደው በቃ አምልኬበት ነበረ ማለት ይችላል። እና ጥላሁን ገሰሰ ማለት ልዩ የኢትዮጵያ ሙዚቃ ንጉስ ነበረ።
እኔንም ወደ አማርኛ ዘፈን እንድገባ ያደረገኝ የሱ የሙዚቃ ስሜትና አዘፋፈን ነው። ለአማርኛ ዘፈን ለኢትዮጵያዊ ስልት እስካሁንም ድረስ እንደ ጥላሁን አድርጎ እግዚአብሔር የፈጠረው የለም በእኔ እምነት፣ በሙዚቃ እምነቴ። ታዲያ የሱ ነው የማረከኝ። ላይክ አልቻልኩም ሲዘፍን፣ ኡኡታን ሲዘፍን፣ የተለያዩ ዘፈኖችን በሚዘፍንበት ጊዜ በጣም ነው የማረከኝ።
ለሱ ከፍተኛ ዋጋ ከፍተኛ አክብሮት ነው የምንሰጠው ሁላችንም። ምትክ የለውም የሚባለው ትክክል ነው። ወደፊት ምትክ ይኖራል ብዬ አልገምትም። እኔ በእርግጥ ጥራት ያላቸው ድምፃውያኖች አሉ አሁን፣ ግን እሱን አይተኩትም። ሊመስሉት ይችላሉ፣ አይተኩትም።
But to know more who he was off stage, I sat down with his wife, Roman Bezu.
When I met him in Washington, D.C., while I was still working with the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C., that was the day when I saw Talahun for the first time, like face to face. Otherwise, he was a famous guy. We see him on the TV or in the newspaper, but I never had a chance to meet him like in person, face to face. So when he came to my apartment, there was an event, my sister's, not wedding. She wanted to introduce me, her, her then, now her husband, at that time, her boyfriend rather. So among my visitors Talahun was there. And nobody, told me that he was coming. I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was in town then. So here we opened my apartment's door. Among the visitors was Talahun. And when I saw him, I said, kind of what? Oh, this is Talahun. One day, I said, fine. Well, we introduce each other, and that's it.
That relationship led to friendship, marriage, and 2 children, a daughter and a son. But Talahun's career was still a central part of his life.
Talahun, all his life, he has more experience, he lived more to his career rather than to his personal life, to be honest with you. He didn't have, as he's supposed to have, a personal life. His personal life was kind of shaky because of he gave too much of himself to his career rather than to himself or his family, to be honest with you. So you can more judge him by by his career, what he has achieved, what he has contributed.
The inspiration behind his music, what was it?
He lived for his career. All his entire, life was to his career, nothing else. For that, he had achieved a great deal of, success, awards as well. Because nothing, to reach where he reached, it's not something that you can get it, just like that. No, he spent like more than 50 years. It's not easy. You cannot even live alone, stage performance. Any career, to live in one career throughout your life, it's not easy. And especially his career was a very tough career. It's a very, very tough profession. It will affect your personal life. It affects your, in all aspects. It's a very challenging career. So, despite all the challenges he had, he managed to maintain that highest level of his career up to last time of his age, of his life.
Diagnosed with diabetes in his later years, Talahun's health began to take a toll.
Because of diabetes, he really suffered. And he was diagnosed for diabetes for 40 years, more than 40 years. And the awareness of diabetes was little at that time, and he didn't really take care of that properly. So he ended up having his right leg amputated, and the last stage of his life was really shaky and very emotional. Was very bad. So he was on a wheelchair. So for me, to see the then Talahun, the guy, he was famous, the one who was performing on the stage, he was, brilliant, he was, everything on the stage. And when you see him in a wheelchair, even though I didn't want to show him, my feelings, that was very, very tough for me to see Talahun on a wheelchair. But emotionally, he was okay. He was kind of strong, but you cannot be strong all the time. That really made me suffer quite a bit.
April 19th, 2009. Take us to that day.
you know, death, this is something that we cannot avoid it. It's there. It's part of our life. But there are certain things that say, this thing should have been done. This has, you know, I have to do this. You know, we should have done this. All the time we have these things. But that's a very bad memory. When we came here, he was okay. Everything went fine. You know, back in Washington, D.C., he had, you know, you name it, 6, 7 doctors who was taking care of him. So we came here the same night. We couldn't get any help, emergency help, because, you know, when you die, when somebody dies without any help, and somebody who dies with all the support he needed, you see that the comparison, at least for the family left behind, we have done all what we could done. But when there's no help, no support, in terms of emergency, I'm talking about the emergency medical.
When you mentioned there were no help, emergency help.
Emergency help to the hospitals. I've been through 2, 3 different clinics for an emergency. There was no help. So he died without receiving any medical emergency. That was, I think it's, for this generation, I think we cannot see again the same kind of funeral. I can say that, and maybe other people might have the same idea as me, but and that's what he deserves anyway. After all, Talahun, he was deep-rooted in everybody's hearts.
What do you want the world to know about Talahun Gassasa?
There is nothing new I can tell to the Ethiopian people. They know more than I do. You know, those Talahun's fun started when he was at the age 40. So Talahun is Talahun. Talahun Gassasa is Talahun Gassasa. You just mention the name, even for a boy in the streets, he can tell you who Talahun is. So there is nothing new I tell about Talahun. He's in everybody's soul and flesh, I can say. So Talahun is Talahun.
During the 80s, the nights were filled with music lovers, packed in nightclubs, to hear the new emerging sounds of Ethiopian music.
That time, people used to enjoy the big band, like what we call the big band is the 6-piece band, like I have the 7-piece bands. And to see everybody live singing, whoever is popular, whoever is singing the imitation songs like English and you name it, Arabic, whatever, Sudanese.
The 80s produced many great talents. Kuku Sasibi was one of them. As young as she could remember, she always had an interest in music. It was just a matter of time before her talents were known.
It was on the day of my graduation. We were having a good time with my friends and everybody said Cuckoo has to sing, go and sing, go and sing. And I was so afraid to sing because I never performed on a stage and with a band. I was so afraid to do that. But they pushed me and I sang Tizita. And everybody loved it, and it was, that moment came that I always wanted to be a singer, and that day I decided that I was going to become a singer.
She went on to perform with many popular bands, such as the Roja Band. Later, a successful solo career. She still reflects on her humbling beginnings.
I made my first cassette, Fikra Baratabing. It was a hit. And then Awek Abrare, there was another one which was very, very good too. So then I traveled, I started traveling. I went to Djibouti. I performed at Djibouti Sheraton and Yemen Sheraton and Abu Dhabi, Dubai. It was very, very good. People loved us. It was such a good, wonderful time. Those days are unforgettable.
በኢትዮጵያ ሙዚቃ ላይ ብዙ ለውጥ አምጥቻለሁ ብዬ አምናለሁ። ምክንያቱም በ80 ውስጥ እና በ90 ውስጥ የሰራዋቸው ስራዎች ከደቡብ ዘፈን በመለወጥ ወደ በዌስተርን ስታይል በዌስተርን አሰራር ሞር ሰፋ አድርጎ በማቅረብ ሰው የደቡብን ሙዚቃ እንዲሰማ አድርጌያለሁ። እሱም በ90 ውስጥ የተሰራ ነው። ከዛም በፊትም ደግሞ እንዳልኩት አማርኛን በሬጌ ሞር ይሰማል አይሰማም፣ ሊሸጥ ይችላል አይሸጥም ብዬ ሳልል የኢትዮጵያ ሙዚቃ መቀየር ይቻላል፣ በእኔ ጀነሬሽን በእኔ ታይም ሊቀይረው ይችላለው፣ ይህንን ቻንስ በማግኘቴ ይህንን ቻንስ ልጠቀመው የሚልም ስራዎቼ ላይ አትኩሬ ብዙ ታይም አጥፍቻለሁ። ብዙ አርቲስቶችም ውጭ ያሉትም ሙዚቀኞች ዘፋኞችም ወደ ሀገር እየተመለሱ ነው። በብዛት ሙዚቀኞች ደስ የሚል ነው በጣም። እነሱ በመምጣታቸውም ብዙ ኮንትሪቢዩሽን አለው በሙዚቃ አፕካሚንግ በአዳዲሶቹ አርቲስቶች ላይ። እዚህም ያሉትም በጣም ጎበዝ ሙዚቀኞች አሉ፣ ፕሮዲውሰሮች አሉ። ሙዚቃን እያሻሻሉት ነው፣ እየተቀየረ ነው። አሁን እሱ ብቻ አይደለም በቂ አይደለም ብዬ አምናለሁ። ምክንያቱም ሙዚቃ አገራችን ብቻ አደገ ሳይሆን ከሀገራችን ውጭም ለማስተዋወቅ ወደ አፍሪካም መወዳደር አለብን።
Today's Ethiopian music is more diverse than ever, even capturing international appeal. One artist who shares that international spotlight
As a little girl, I was an invisible girl. What meaning invisible? Like a shy girl. I don't that much interact with people. You know, those kids that can be bullied easily. I wasn't bullied that much, but I was a little bit invisible. I was a very shy girl. and I was very much into academic, into learning, to school. This music thing just came. Probably, I think it was inside me, but I just don't want to take it out, or maybe I just don't want to acknowledge it.
Once the music came out of her, the world embraced her. In 2004, she was awarded the Kora Awards for Best Female Artist from East Africa.
When the award ceremony started, it started from the female category, and it started from East Africa. And then when they called my name, that was the first award. My name, and there's a Kenyan. We share that award. Best Female Artist from East Africa. There's Kenyan, Achiangabura, and me. And when they call my name, what?
I have the privilege of presenting before you the best female artist for East Africa. Tetsina Gabramarcus from Ethiopia.
I didn't expect this. It's my first time to be nominated in the Kora, so I didn't think I would have this chance. And I would like to give thanks for our Lord for giving me this happiest moment of my life. And I would like to thank everybody who worked on my music video, everybody who supported me, my family, my friends, my fiance, groom, my friends, everybody. This is not only mine, it's ours.
For me, it was a first experience to be Best Female Artist from East Africa and to accept this award. It was an unexpected experience.
As Ethiopian music becomes more diverse, so does criticism of what's Ethiopian and what's not. Reggae artist Johnny Raga says, times have changed.
My father used to dance and jump and down, up and down for the music he loved, you know? And that could be Chikchika, you know? But like, what I do is, I do the music that I really love to hear, you know? And to dance. And this feeling, all the people that I know, or like most of the people, most of the young people, they share this feeling, you know? So I said like, yeah, I mean, we have to move with time.
Over 52 years ago, some of the greatest music legends once walked this hall to perform here. Today, it is called Jazamba and plays host to some of the greatest acts in Addis Ababa.
The Taitu Hotel is the oldest hotel in Ethiopia. Around 1898 was the date it was opened. So that's the biggest thing about it, the history part of it. And the fact that it's found in the old part of Addis in Piazza also creates an interest for us. So for me, that's the part that attracted us for us to come here and open the club here.
As the world grows around us, so does technology. In fact, you can download your favorite music or song on your mobile. But the major issue in Ethiopia is piracy, the illegal copying and selling of music.
For the person who's selling the CD, it really pisses me off. There's nothing I can say. It really, really pisses me off. And one thing pisses me off there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, yeah, you can go to court, or you can't call a police and say he's doing this and this, and so maybe they don't have the authority, or maybe they don't have enough information about it. It pisses me off that I cannot do anything about it. Now things are changing. It seems it's changing. We're fighting. There's a copyright office. They're putting people into court. They're trying to put people in prison. It's starting.
This is a problem all over the world. It's not a problem only in Ethiopia, because it is an intangible asset. You can't see it. Intellectual property is different from the other properties because we don't see it, we don't touch it. It's an intellectual part. So people don't usually recognize it as a property. And the policymakers and the enforcing agents at the same time don't realize that the intellectual property is a property. So here is the part of the problem. Here lies the part of the problem of enforcing the rights.
When there is an individual debating if they should buy the original CD or the copy, what would you say to that person?
I would say they have to buy the original CD because it has good quality. And if they love me, they have to show me that respect and love by buying the original.